Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Duck Zone 503, man. If you ain't subscribed yet, go ahead and join the family. Even if you ain't a Ducks fan, man, I always like talking college football with everybody, but specifically on this channel, man, we cover and talk about everything Oregon football in specific. So, man, today we got an Oregon update that I've been wanting to get to, and I'm in a new setting. If you haven't seen my old videos, I've been moving. That's why I haven't been uploading regularly. But while I was moving, what I was doing is I was really going hard on my social media channel since I really couldn't use my laptop at that time. I was uploading all the offers. I was keeping up with recruiting on my social media. And man, shout out to y'all, man. If y'all are watching this from my Twitter, my Instagram, we're growing like crazy, man. We're growing really fast in this Oregon community. I'm meeting a whole bunch of Oregon fans and a whole bunch of Oregon players that I've never met before. So I'm happy to keep going, man. It's Duck Zone 503 around here. We're gonna keep going hard. We're gonna keep going, giving you all the updates and trying to keep y'all up to date with this Oregon program, man. So today, man, we're going to talk about CJ Verdell and Travis Dye. Man, much respect to them. Congratulations to them on some successful careers at Oregon from 2018 to 2021. They played 4 years here, both of them. Man, great careers, man. Verdell, he was a 2017 3-star coming out of Mater Dei High School. Dye was a 2018 3-star coming out of Norco High School. Verdell finished with 406 yards and 6 touchdowns in 5 games before a season-ending injury at Stanford in the 2021 season. He was on track to have a really great season. Too bad he went down. But as you know, Travis Dye stepped up. He picked up the slack and had one of his best individual seasons. He finished with 1,271 yards and 16 touchdowns, which really, for me, questions the move to not go to the NFL for Travis Dye. Verdell went ahead and took that step, as I feel he didn't really have much left to prove here at Oregon. So it was really expected for Verdell to go. And we're for me, I was kind of waiting to see what Travis Dye would do. I really thought he would go to the NFL as well, as, he just had one of his best individual seasons. So let's talk about that a little bit. Travis Dye. So I think, and this is just my opinion here, I honestly think, and this has been talked about in the Oregon community, I think that Dye probably looked at his draft grade, probably got his draft grade, and he probably didn't like it. So he wanted to play probably one more season. Well, if you don't know Dye's personal life, he is from California and he just got engaged. So why not go to USC, right? Where you're from. Now, I do think this is an overall life move for him rather than football, because it doesn't really make sense much football wise. I mean, think about it. USC is their O line, is not as great as Oregon is, not even close. I mean, USC's D line and O line is really bad. Some of the worst in the conference. They have to rebuild there. So him going there, it just didn't really make much sense. Plus, if you knew Verdell was leaving, I don't know if you knew that or not. Who knows? But that's really going to make him running back number 1 at that point. So I just don't understand why football wise, I don't understand. But then you think about it, and life wise, same with like Mario Cristobal, football wise, why would you go to a program that is rebuilding in Miami? And when you've been building something really special, you just beat Ohio State here at Oregon. That's when that move came out, it shocked me and I had questions about it. But then you look at it, man, and put myself in their shoes. Let's say Florida, somewhere across the country. Let's say I was coaching in Florida. I grew up a Duck fan. I grew up, loving the Ducks. If I got $80 million to go to Oregon, I would take that opportunity. And I talked about this a little bit with Devin Jackson on an interview. If you guys haven't seen that, go ahead and check that out, man. 4-star linebacker, 2022 commit. Devin Jackson, man, great interview, great kid, man, great head on shoulders. If you guys haven't seen that, go check that out. Just had that done. But yeah, we hit on that topic a little bit with Travis Dye transferring and just transferring in general. So, but yeah, overall, I think this is a better life move. Him and his girlfriend probably wanted to go back to California, where he's from, in that area. And, they just got engaged. You probably want to get married down there. And he's going to get an opportunity to play for USC, probably a school that, he watched when he was a kid, being from California. So, best of luck to him. Oregon doesn't play USC on the schedule, but they could possibly meet up in the Pac-12 championship. So that would be interesting if they were to play Travis Dye and USC. So let's talk about Verdell a little bit now. Now Verdell goes ahead of NFL, as I said before. This was expected for me. Verdell's best game this season was at Ohio State, with 161 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns on 20 carries. Yeah, I was there for that one, man. I was there for. I don't go to like all Oregon games, but I've been to a few these last couple of years, and Verdell's best games I've been to, like Washington State in 2019 when he rushed for over like 200 yards. I mean, that I was there with, I'm gonna miss Verdell, man. The guy is a workhorse. I honestly really do think if he stays healthy and he's able to get past his injury bug, um, I think he's going to be a great NFL back. I mean, the guy runs through people and runs hard, and he has speed to get away. I mean, look at that second half rush against Ohio State, and that's against Ohio State athlete speed. Like, he got away and ran for over 60 yards. So the dude definitely has potential to be a great back in the NFL. I don't know if he's going to be a top round draft pick, but I definitely see him getting drafted, no doubt. His best season for Oregon statistically was in 2019. He ran for 1,220 yards and had 8 touchdowns rushing, and he had 6.2 yards per carry that season. Had great 4 years of Dye and Verdell. You got to give him great respect. Overall for Verdell, this was the best move for him because he had nothing really left to prove here at Oregon, especially at the college level too. I mean, you look at Dye, he probably has a little more to prove than Verdell did because Verdell started over Dye, so. But going back to Dye's situation, USC just took in a Stanford transfer running back. I forgot his name. I should have wrote it down. My bad about that. But they're going to be definitely splitting the carries. I don't see Dye just outright, taking that running back number 1 spot. And you look at the room here in Oregon, he definitely could have been that running back number 1 if you wanted that. So I think this just goes back to Dye going. It's just more of a life move for him. He wants to spend 1 year, where he's from, spend 1 year at home before going off to the NFL and having to make another move somewhere. Think about it. And then Verdell, man, I'm excited to see what he's going to do in the NFL. I just hope he stays healthy. So much respect to Verdell and Dye. You know what I mean? You guys, I think they're 4th and 5th rushing. I think I'm not sure Verdell or Dye is ahead of maybe one of you guys can comment and let me know if Verdell or Dye, but I do know they're 4th and 5th rushing. I think Dye might be 4th and Verdell might be 5th, but you guys can fact check that on me if you guys want to. But yeah, go ahead and drop a comment real quick, man. Let me know what you guys think about Verdell and Dye leaving, man. I know some people are a little upset about Dye going to USC. I'm not gonna throw up the 2 fingers and say fight on. I'm not gonna do that, but I will cheer for him. Me as a Duck fan, I always say once a Duck, always a Duck, no matter where you go. Then in this day and age of football, we're just gonna have to get used to guys leaving. So I do think, I do have the utmost respect for both of them, and I wish nothing but the best. Now, if Dye comes and plays Oregon in the Pac-12 championship, and he's using the USC, is wearing a USC uniform, I'm not going to be cheering for him then. But it's kind of like the Beavers for me, man. I cheer for the Beavers. They're like our little brother when we're not playing them, but when they play us, I'm not. I want you to go down. But hey, man. Let's go ahead and look towards the future here, man. Let's go ahead and look at what we got in the running back room as of the time of this recording. So let's talk about Byron Cardwell. In my opinion, I think he's going to be running back 1 next year, just based off what I've seen this season. He showed one thing about him is he showed a lot of patience when waiting, when running and waiting for that hole to open up, and that's something you don't see with a lot of young running backs. Is when they're running the ball, a lot of them just try to hit that hole as fast as I can. Don't really wait for holes to open up. And with him, especially as a freshman, you've seen that. And he has really nice feet, chops his feet, and he waits. And then that burst, man. He has like a Michael James type burst. And it's funny because he wears that legendary number 21. But his burst, man, is just bow when I love how he comes if they're doing like a sweep and he comes off and the 2 linemen are pulling and he just waits for that hole. When he sees that hole, he just goes, man. That's one thing I really, really noticed about him when watching his film on this season. His dad, Byron Cardwell Sr., is always on Twitter Spaces. Shout out to Twitter Spaces guys, London and Don. They do a great job there. I love going on Oregon Spaces. If you guys aren't on Twitter, I suggest you make an account. It's free, and try to join the Oregon community on these spaces, because it definitely is growing, and it's a way to connect with parents. It's definitely, we've had some players, we had some coaches in there, and it's I like the Twitter spaces. So go ahead and check that out. So Byron Cardwell, he's 6 foot, 203 pounds. He was a 4-star running back out of Morse High School. That's in the San Diego area. So he was the number 12 running back in the 21 class. So definitely a highly rated recruit. He finished with 417 yards and 3 touchdowns. He averaged 6.8 yards per carry in this 2021 season. So honestly, he got on kind of late. He didn't really play in the beginning of the season, as you'd expect with freshmen. They got to get time to learn and do their due diligence. But I think when he had his time, he really showed out. And that 6.8 yards per carry is a great number. As a freshman, like I said, his patience is there, his burst is there. As he continues to fill out his frame a little bit and becomes a complete running back, I cannot wait to see what this guy can do. Let's move on. Let's go to Sean Dollars here. We got Sean Dollars. So now a lot of Duck fans, including myself, man, are very excited to see what he's got. He's been injured the last 3 years, and it's been sad to see because he's had a lot of hype behind him. He's seen some limited action in 2020, but very little. And 2020 wasn't even much of a season to begin with. So, it's been kind of tough. He expected to see him this year, and he went down with another injury, but he's fighting back. And you see him on his Instagram and his Twitter all the time, working, doing in the gym all the time. So this man is hungry, and he's waiting for his opportunity, and he wants it. He's been on that bench for 3 years waiting. So I expect nothing but the best for this guy, and he wants it. I can tell. Now, he's 5'10", 185, more of a speed back guy. You got Byron Cardwell, who's filled out at 6 foot 203. That's more of like your complete running back, your NFL size running back. More it fills out too is going to be good. Seven McGee is more of your, Sean Dollars is more of a speed back. Seven McGee is as well. We'll get to that though. And he was a 4-star running back at a legendary Modern Day high school in the 2019 class. So Modern Day, they got so much talent coming out of that high school, and they play a lot of great teams out there in California. So the sky's the limit for Sean Dollars. I can't wait to see what he's got. And the third back in the room is Seven McGee. I'm also excited to see what he's got. He's the highest rated running back in the room as of now, according to 247 Sports. He was a 4-star running back out of East High School in New York. There's a video of him working out in Tim's. That's how New York he is. Man's was working out in Tim's. Shout out Seven McGee. He was listed as the number 9 running back, so a top 10 running back in the 21 class. So that is very impressive, very, very highly ranked. He finished with 61 yards and 1 touchdown on 14 carries in the 21 season. So he had limited action this season, but I do think he can be utilized better with this staff, which we haven't seen yet. We haven't seen really what the offense is even going to really look like, but that's the hope with Oregon fans, at least, is we hope this staff can utilize the playmakers. And trust me, Seven McGee and Sean Dollars, those guys are playmakers. You guys get those guys, you get those guys out in space, and they will make plays for your team. So overall, I think the talent in this room has a higher ceiling than the room before. I really do. Much respect for Dye and Verdell, but with the limited film we have on these 3 backs, I do see a lot of talent. I do see it. To be honest with you, I do see a lot more explosiveness from these backs, something that we haven't seen really in a couple of years, because Dye and Verdell, they're great running backs overall, but that speed, that explosiveness, that DeAnthony Thomas, LaMichael James, Kenyon Barner, those type of backs that just burst, I think we have some with Sean Dollars and Seven McGee, and then Byron Cardwell is that overall back that will give you everything. So I'm very excited, very excited. So Oregon is looking to add to the room as well. They're looking into the transfer portal. They're looking into the 22 class right before February 2nd is signing day. So there's some guys we're going to talk about here. Let's talk about a transfer here. Jerick Broussard. He's the former Colorado running back. Jerick Broussard has been in the news for Oregon for a little bit. He took a visit at Oregon and is considering them. He played at Colorado for the last 2 years. In 2020, he was the Pac-12 Offensive Player of the Year. He rushed for 895 yards and 5 touchdowns and 7.2 yards per carry in that 2020 year. Now, given it was a short year, you still got to give it to the guy, man. Almost 1,000 yards there in 2020. That was pretty good. Now, his numbers did decline, but I think he was battling injuries this year. So if Oregon was to add the 2020 Pac-12 Offensive Player of the Year, I mean, come on, man. That's, you can't argue with that. College experience right off the bat. So he's 5'9", 185. He's a 3-star running back out of Bishop Lynch High School from Dallas, Texas. He was ranked as the number 88th athlete in the 2018 class. So he's coming from the 18 class. And yeah, I mean, I think if Oregon could add him, that would definitely bolster and add to this room with talent and competitiveness. There's going to be some battling going on. And you bring in a Pac-12 Offensive Player of the Year guy, that'd definitely add to this room. He kind of reminds me of Travis Dye, looking at his film, kind of a Travis Dye type running back. It's an overall solid running back. Then let's go into the 22 class. We got 4-star running back Jordan James. He's out of Oakland High School in Tennessee, so not in California. He's coming from Tennessee. He's ranked as the number 13 running back in the 22 class. He's 5'10", 205, so very good size there. Kind of looking like a Byron Cardwell type size for Jordan James. One thing to note here, he's been committed to Georgia since March 29th, 2021, but Oregon has came in hard at him since the hiring of Dan Lanning. I'm sure Dan Lanning has something to do with that. At the time of this recording, I do want to let you guys know, this is breaking news, that 247 Sport experts have crystal balled him to flip to Oregon. And that came about 2 hours ago. It's 5:40 right now. So yeah, about 2 hours ago that came out on 247 Sports. So I do expect him to be added to the room as the time of this recording, more than who we're going to talk about next in Jerick Broussard. I do see him coming to be added, which is a great addition. He makes his decision February 2nd. So if you guys are watching this, it's between Oregon, Georgia, and Florida on February 2nd. And a lot of people have crystal balled him to flip to Oregon. So something to watch there. I think that would be a great add, another highly rated recruit in the room. I think this running back room is as talented as it's been and as young as it's been in a while. The third guy is Andrew Paul. Now, Andrew Paul, I think, is somebody who you would like to add on this team based on his size. So he's a 3-star running back in the 22 class out of Dallas, Texas. And he's ranked as the number 59th running back in the 22 class. He is a 3-star, but the thing is his stock has been rising the fastest as almost any recruit in the 22 classes. He has visits with Colorado, Michigan, and Clemson, some big time schools as of lately, and it's been rising really fast. Oregon is reportedly trying to get him on a visit. I seen the other day, just like I think it was yesterday, matter of fact, I think that I seen him with Coach Lachlan, running back Coach Lachlan, but he wasn't in Eugene. I think Lachlan went and flew to him, which shows that these coaches and this Oregon staff definitely want to add him too. And I think, like I said earlier, based on his size, I think he would definitely be a great add as a third down back, third and short, maybe a goal line back. He's 5'11", 220, which would definitely make him the biggest back in the room. So I think you definitely need to add a guy like that. You got your overall guys with Jordan James and Cardwell, and then you got your speed backs with Seven and Dollars. If you were to add Andrew Paul in the mix, that gives you like a Cyrus Hadidi Leakio type back. I would compare him to. So that's gonna do it today, man. We covered the running back room. Much respect again to Verdell and Dye. Once a duck, always a duck. I hope you guys nothing but the best. We covered what to expect in the future, see who's Oregon going to add. And yeah, I'm very excited. I think this is a young, talented room, and I don't expect much of a drop off. Matter of fact, I expect the ceiling to be even higher. So go Ducks. If you ain't subscribed, go ahead and join the family. Ducks Zone 503, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, share this out to your peoples, man. If you got any Duck family, any Duck friends, man, go ahead and check it out. Go ahead and check out my last video with Devin Jackson, 4-star 22 commit. I had an interview with him. And go Ducks.